All right, Internet. Let's get this started. Where did I leave off at? The Necropolis. You fought your way through hell and found the Titan's core, a portal that gets you one step closer to the Crucible, and defeating the forces of hell for good. You must crush the Crucible's guardians and retrieve what is yours. And I shall. With my cup of coffee. Okay. I need to remember my button configuration. And L1 is jump. L2 secondary fire, R2 primary fire. I believe R1 my grenade. X is BFG, primary weapon switch. Where it's chainsaw, so it's crash. Okay. What are my combat challenges here? Kill 2 Caco demons with one shot. Kill 10 demons with explosive barrels. Kill a mancubus with a pillow. With a pistol. Yeah, that one's gonna be a pain in the ass. Come on. Whoa! Oh, that's very quickly. Oop. There we go. That challenge is always a pain in the anus. Whoa, Cyberman this.
And in his terrible rancor between worlds, and through time, the Hellwalker found the wretch who shall not be named, but in his heresy was loyal to his evil cause. The wretch adorned the Doomslayer in a mighty armor, wrought in the forges of hell, impenetrable and unyielding, with sword and shield of adamantine strength. The Doomslayer set to banishing all that were left unbroken by his savagery to the void.
I have to like herd them around this stupid barrel here. Where's my pistol? There it is. No, I moved it away. He's kicking it back to me. I got quite a few there. That was kind of silly though. I'll move that one. All right. Damn it. Gotcha. Oh, pinky demon. Maybe it. it? Oh. Where is it? Right here. It's the next one. There we go. Trying to remember where the two little action things are. There's the one. Yeah, this secret really sucks. You don't get anything. Like 2 little things of armor. What runes I have equipped? Armor, defensive. Okay. I gotta kill 2 more demons with an explosive barrel. Are there any in this area? Oh no. There we go. That was pretty easy. Trying to think. You know, I don't think there's any secrets in this room, so pretty sure. Pretty sure. Back real quick. Okay. Okay, I think I get some Barons of Hell and some Pinky Specters. There he is. I think there's one behind me. Shit. Quit touching me, please. Figured I'd go ahead and blow some chainsaw fuel since there's already a spare tank right here. I really hope there's some more explosive barrels. It's gonna be really annoying if I can find two more.
As the mighty Titan fell, and dread engulfed the armies of doom, the demon priests of the blood temples laid a trap to capture the scourge of hell. Insatiable, even by the vanquishing of the Great One, the Hellwalker sought to prey in the tombs of the Blood Keep, and blinded by his fervor, the lure drew him in. The priests brought down the temple upon the Doomslayer, and in his defeat entombed him in the cursed sarcophagus. The mark of the Doomslayer was burned upon his crypt, a warning to all must never be freed. There he lies still and evermore in silent suffering.
Okay. Fuck you, Cacodemon. You know, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. That is pretty fucking wicked. There it is. Come on, barrel. Okay. Why do I have to lift my charge blast? I really hope there's an explosive barrel in there somewhere. I mean, I really don't need the extra weapon point, because I'm really not going to use it. Okay. Damn it. Fucking impact compensation. Okay, I'm gonna start using it. There you go. Oh, hello. Oh, there's a BFG over here. Oh, plasma ammo. Thank you. Guess he's stuck on the pillar there. Ugh. Hey, I'm gonna try and kill this fat guy with barrels. It's gonna take him 20 minutes to get over him. Oh shit, why is there so many of them? Oh, I got one of them at least. That was kind of weird. That Spectre was behind me, and like the plasma cannon is so awesome it killed him, even though he was behind me. That's funny. Yeah, what's going on, Cosmin? Don't mind me. I'm just a crazy Doom fanatic that's giving this game another playthrough. So. However, if you have any peers or friends that have not had the Doom experience, you can send them over here, and I will do my best to convert them to the Doom lifestyle. So, but other than that, just sit back and enjoy the show, or not. Okay, now this, honestly, I never would have guessed it if I had not seen it in a guide. Is this secret right here? Pretty clever though. Hello, DJ Rock. How are you, sir? Also, depending on how old school you are, the big old skull you see here is actually well, it's not the icon of sin, right? It's just an image, but it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It is basically like kind of a statue or a bust of the icon of sin, which was in the original Doom 2 game. Sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to think what is it? Rocket launcher and combat shotgun or super shotgun, I think. Damn it, switch sides. Plasma thing. Almost died there. Ha! Yeah, see, I didn't realize that if you want to do the kill the demons with explosive barrels, you have to do it early on, because really the enemies you encounter later on, they're kind of tough, so it's kind of hard to get a killing blow with them with the explosive barrels. But it's not a big deal. I mean, technically, if you actually do all the challenges and get all the secrets to get all the weapon points, you'll actually end up with more weapon points, even if you have every weapon and firing mode fully upgraded. So technically, you don't need to get all of them to upgrade everything. So, yeah, and if you're wondering, the green like holograms of those knights, apparently they're called Knight Sentinels or something like that. So, the story doesn't really go into it much, but it basically says that at one point in time that the Doom Marine, he basically, I guess he was the leader of some kind of group or faction. So, and they assume he was the leader of the Night Sentinels or something like that. Vega Central Processing. You reclaim the Crucible and are returning to Mars. You must close the well, the power source of the Hell portals on Mars. To do this, you will have to make one last Hell jump. Samuel has a plan to send you back to the well's location. He will need your assistance to carry it out. I am Vega.
You have the Crucible, and with it the means to contain the power of the well. We have a plan to send you there. Vega will walk you through the process.
Yeah, I have 21 weapon points. I mean, I'm really not going to use these other alternate firing modes. I can always upgrade it. The thing is that, like, well, of course, if you're playing on, like, normal or easy, then it doesn't really matter, but if you're playing on a harder difficulty, there are kind of specific mods you want to upgrade. So, like, for the plasma rifle, you really want the stun bomb, you know? Because if you get in a bad spot, it allows you kind of like a temporary moment of peace to kind of stun enemies and create some distance. Really, with the siege cannon, you always want siege mode. So, precision bolt is okay, but really siege mode is the way to go. So, rocket launcher, you can actually go in between two. The remote detonation and lock-on burst both have good. They're both strong depending on the circumstance. The minigun turret, it doesn't. It's kind of 50-50. Like technically, your damage output would be faster with the mobile turret, but you'll maintain your mobility with the what is it? Just the rotator. So, because when you're using the mobile turret, when you're firing, you actually move a little slower. Whereas when you use this firing mode, you'll move at full speed. So, if you're playing on a really hard difficulty, you may want to stick with the Gatling rotator instead of the mobile turret. And then shotgun. Honestly, charge burst, I mean, it's kind of nice, but once you get the super shotgun, like, it kind of makes that firing mode kind of defunct, I feel like. So, really, you want the grenade launcher mod. Anyways. Where was I?
This is my primary operating facility. It is where I was created and where my core processing unit is maintained. It takes approximately 2.4 gigawatts of power to sustain my operational capabilities. But it has been decided that we can use that power to send you to the source of the portal. I will not survive the procedure and am unable to self-terminate, so I will walk you through the process. All interior and exterior facility doors have been secured. You will need to begin by finding a way in and disabling the security system.
You know, what's actually kind of cool is I remember reading in one of the codices, I think Vega's processing terminal, where like his AI core mainframe is, because it generates so much heat, like they have to find a way to supercool it or something crazy, because like it's all the power that's required. Or anyways, And one of the codices I thought was kind of neat. It says that they actually built the this facility on within or like on top of Mount Olympus or in that mountain range, which technically is like in real life it's this enormous mountain that's actually on the planet of Mars. So kind of cool little piece of information there, I thought. So. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Shit. Kill 3 demons, 1 frag grenade. Kill a faithful demon with a chainsaw. No, I fell down. Hopefully he'll come down to me. There he goes. Imps are so easy to kill, it's like you have to just slowly plink away at their health to get the glory kill. Otherwise you'll just kill them way too fast. What was the other one? Okay. With a frag grenade and then kill a pack of them with a chainsaw.
Our security systems operate on 2 separate neural networks that terminate in this maintenance facility. Each termination point is protected by an electrified field, but you should survive the surge.
You should survive it. Now, technically, in this stage, if you want to be a real man, what you do is where you have like 2 or 3 objectives where you have to activate them. Every time you activate a trigger, you'll spawn a wave of enemies. So instead of just activating one and fighting, you immediately activate both of them. You get the maximum amount of enemies in one setting. Let's stun this guy again. Also, you can make better use of the power-up. Whoa, gotta get out of here. Also, I gotta kill demons with the fire grenade. Come on, man, where'd you go? Oh. Okay, that one didn't count. Good. Dude, I was behind that guy. How did that not, do it again here? Oh, yeah, he died. I'll restart this checkpoint here. Some challenges are kind of annoying, like with imps, they're so frail, every time they want you to do a glory kill on them. Either one of their demon allies will blow them up, or you'll kill them because you did just a little bit too much damage. So you have so few hit points. Let's try to see.
primary neural security network offline. Auxiliary neural security network offline.
Try to get 3 of these guys together, man. I think I'm just gonna have to kill them. Can't move him because he can scale that tower there. I kill him? Oh, I got him. Got him. Got him. Yeah, I mean, technically I don't really need the weapon points, right? Because the particular mods I have I have them already upgraded, so it's not really necessary. And I got the platinum trophy a while ago, so technically I really don't know why I'm bothering with the challenges. I really shouldn't. So, did need to pick up some ammo though. Okay, I think I'm kind of maxed out on everything here. Oh, I forgot. I gotta turn on this console here.
My vital operating systems are now vulnerable. I recommend destroying my coolant system first. This will accelerate the destabilization process.
Oh, ambush. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot about the. I should have saved the invulnerability power up when I activated the console. It's been so long since I last played. But I mean, really, those kind of strategies only really matter when you're playing on like Nightmare. So.
Should you find yourself caught in a level 3 demon contamination event, it is important that you remain calm. A tier 3 fellow wouldn't panic, and neither should you. Unlike everything else, your work here matters.
You kidding me?
Weaponizing demons for a brighter tomorrow.
No, not you, Pinky Demon. Fuck off. Oh, man. God damn it. That's another thing, too, is because, I mean, because there's friendly fire amongst other demons, like, they end up killing each other. Which they can also interfere with, some of the challenges.
Demon contamination event. It is important that you remain calm. A tier 3 fellow wouldn't panic.
I could see him out there in the distance, and I was like, well, yeah, there he goes. He's gonna fucking kill those other two, Lindsay guys.
Unlike everything else in your life, your work here matters.
Kill these assholes.
Weaponizing demons for a brighter tomorrow.
Everybody get these three assholes together. I don't really need the weapon points. I don't know why I'm wasting my time.
New security clearance required. Low security clearance required. Low security clearance required.
Yeah, I heard this one.
Unlike everything else in your life, your work here matters. Weaponizing demons for a brighter tomorrow. A tier 3 fellow wouldn't panic, and neither should you. Unlike everything else in your life, your work here.
Wait a minute, I think I can get it here. Oh, fuck it up. Fucking more pinky beans. Fuck. Wrong weapon. Oh, I got it. Ah. Suck on that. Yes, Doom. You can never have enough Doom. For breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, midnight snack. Never such thing as Doom in excess, right? Let's see. Can I get the blue key card? And... okay. Shit, I'm trying to think of where the fucking, I got one action figure. There's another action figure, there's a Mega Health, and then there's the Doom level. And where the fuck is the Doom level? Is it in here?
Access granted.
Because I know once I drop down here, I'll get the Mega Health, and I can't come back up, so... where is the lever for the
Weaponizing
Doom?
demons for a perfect draw.
Okay, I know it's not back here.
Should you find yourself caught in the level 3 it is important
It's like nudged like behind some like metal crates.
and neither should you.
That's all I can remember. Not here. That's...
Unlike everything else in your life, your work here matters.
Oh, fucking hell. It's right there. I knew it was behind like some crates, but I couldn't think of like physically where. So yeah, I was right. So I was like, I know it's in this room somewhere. Okay. Mega Health. And be very careful not to fall off the fucking map. Oh yeah.
Early tests of Vega's protoplasmic circuitry show temperatures exceeding 1.2 megakelvins.
Yeah, this is the room where the
173 times
when you
hotter
take
than
the
surface of
elevator.
the sun. To contain this heat, a massive supercooled structure was built to house Vega's miles of circuitry and millions of processing centers.
You are looking at the only absolute zero cooling system ever constructed. It took years to perfect. Destroy each of the 4 coolant generators. Once they are no longer functional, my primary systems should begin to melt down.
Now this, kind of what I was referencing earlier. Most people probably what they'll do is they'll just blow one of these up at a time and then you'll have a wave come in. But for like the maximum Doom experience and to put some chest on your hair, you can blow up all 4 and then like it'll be really fucking chaotic for about 10 minutes. It's a lot of fun though. I just need to figure out where they're all at. There's one down there. I know there's 4 here. That's number 2. It's number 3 and number 4. I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to blow these up. And then there's actually a Berserk power-up as well, if I remember correctly. I think it's below this thing here. Actually, I'm going to try it without the power-up, see what happens.
Core temperature rising. Core temperature rising. Core temperature reaching critical levels.
Okay. Now it's maximum fucking chaos, so... Now let's do this. Fuck, I fell down. Fuck you, summoner. Whoop. I need ammo. Oh.
Core is located to complete this process.
That was pretty cool. You know, actually, I don't know. I take that back. I've never actually gone to this level and just done one at a time. So I wonder maybe if you actually skip a few demons because they don't all spawn in. I don't know. Maybe I'll try on my next playthrough or something. The pain was unbearable. Yeah. Well, you know the old saying, right? No pain, no gain, so... Masculinity is a privilege that is earned through blood, sweat, and tears, and the slaying of many demons with many guns. Yeah, see the Berserker power-up is down here. Probably should have used it, but whatever. Okay, I think I've picked up everything here. Just trying to make sure I got all the armor in this level. Only one. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got everything here.
The train below will...
Hold on. The last... Did I skip a, I think I may have skipped a Praetorian Guard, actually.
take you to the entrance.
Check real quick here. Yeah, I did. Fuck. Oh well. There's like no way I can get back up there, I don't think. I mean, what do I really have left? Yeah, expiration items appear. I mean, I pretty much know where everything's at, so I don't really need that Praetorian Guard token or whatever. So, because I mean, honestly, once you get pretty much what dexterity, power up, effectiveness, equipment systems, environmental resistances, you don't really need area scanning technology if you know where shit's at. I mean, if you don't, then okay, yeah, you probably want it if you haven't played it before. But since I pretty much remember where damn near everything's at, I don't really, so I'm not gonna bother going back there. Now this fight's a pain in the ass on Nightmare. I can tell you that right now.
Must be removed from the room ahead.
Wow, I didn't kill that bear to hell, didn't he? He must have got, like, I guess, severely wounded. Why I didn't kill him. I gotta get out of here. Shit, I'm about to die, too. Armor. Ooh. Really hoping that blast would kill it, yeah. Okay. Oh, hold on. All 3 points of it. Yeah, what makes this fight kind of hard is they summon so many fucking pinky demons. They just ram the shit out of you. That's what gets you killed. So, I almost died here. And there's like 3 or 4 like BFG rounds, so really if you can concentrate them on the bottom here and then just kind of shoot one across the hallway, you'll kill a whole bunch with 1 round. So if you're having real trouble, that is. I think I got a few kills with mine, just like a dumbass. I fell into a little trench down there. Yeah, that's about everything.
Once Vega's core is destroyed, the vacuum of energy will pull you back through to hell. We have your destination set to the well's location. Now use the crucible to power it down, and the portal here on Mars will be closed permanently. They will not allow access to the well without a fight. But I'm sure that's what you're looking for, isn't it? Thank you, Vega.
One thing I found kind of interesting is if you notice the Doom Marine, instead of just initiating the self-destruct, he actually makes the conscious decision of making a Vega backup. Now I wonder, whenever the sequel comes out, if the Doom Marine somehow, I guess, utilizes that backup of the Vega AI. So, maybe or maybe not, I don't know. I kind of feel like, you know, as a developer, since you have to animate that kind of stuff, if they go through the animation of his hand motion and him clicking the Vega backup button and then taking out that card or whatever it was, I'm assuming Vega's probably going to return in the next Doom game, maybe to assist the Doom Marine possibly. So, be kind of cool. Argent Denor. By destroying Vega, you've created a portal directly into the heart of hell. Now you must find your way to the source of the UAC's power known as the well. The Crucible will allow you to absorb and contain the energy of the well for good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use what points I have left just to upgrade this stuff. I'm not really going to do much with it, but yeah, see, technically I think if you do this level and then that one that one weapon or stage combat rating challenge or whatever they missed, you'd have like one more point, and then I think you get like, how many do you get out of this level? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the combat rating. So that, yeah, you get like 10 more, I think. So actually, you get like 10 or 11 more weapon points than what you actually need to upgrade everything. So, oh yeah, exposition time. Let's see here. See what I picked up. Since this is the last level. The Titan's Realm. After the disastrous Project Lazarus manned expedition, it was decided to avoid Kandengir's sanctum until the environment was more conducive to human exploration. The second Project Lazarus manned expedition was changed to a new location, an area referred to as the Great Steppe. The Corax tablet described this area in detail. Quote, through the Titan's Realm and down to the Great Steppe, where the trophies of victory are kept through the ages. Their false idols banished to a wasteland, their towers fallen, their foundations ground to dust, their hallowed halls kept empty as cruel reminders that civilization shall fall before the ascension of the Great Ones. A pilgrimage. If you are one of the lucky disciples who will get to experience a pilgrimage to hell, there are some preparations you must make for your journey. You must make sure all the affairs are in order before leaving, donate all your belongings, excluded any security control materials, to a Tier 2 advocate, and record any final logs you may wish to make. Your savings and assets will be used to fund additional UAC research. For the expedition itself, you may wish to consider sedation. Advocates can get overwhelmed during the transition, and a medically administered balancing agent can help ease the excitement. Lastly, prepare your mind for the wonders you will experience. Seeing the remains of a Titan is an experience that will buckle the knees of the most steadfast advocate. If you are lucky, you may even get to see a live Titan. If you do, you must record the sighting immediately and hand your storage devices to a scout bot for safety. It is not known if any Titans still inhabit the Great Steppe, so if you get the chance to be sacrificed to one of these massive beasts, take it. So that's kind of cool though, because that describes that there are several Titans, I guess, that exist in the realm of hell. And of course, like, you know, not Kandengir's sanctum, but when you get to Titan's Realm and then Necropolis, you see like 2 or 3 enormous skeletons, which I imagine are the remains of a Titan. Doom, yes. You can never have enough Doom, the name. Hope I said that right. There's no such thing as Doom in excess. All day, every day. I love this game. The Necropolis. When the expedition of 2148 reached the Great Steppe, massive structures were found unlike any other edifices yet seen in Hell. It is believed that these structures were native to this area, absorbed into Hell when the civilization was conquered. The construction bears resemblance to many known early architectural movements and several unknown, potentially extraterrestrial designs. More of the structures appear to be religious or spiritual in design and have been corrupted to pay homage to the dark magic of Hell. Although the expedition ended in a total loss of human life, it was considered a resounding success not only for the vast amount of data recovered by the scout bots, but also for returning and petrified remains of a massive Shadow Lord believed to be an ancient Balagar demon, which is the cyber demon boss you fight. The presence of such a high-ranking demon in the Necropolis suggests that the area holds some item of importance or vulnerability to the demons. Current research suggests that this may be the lost artifact known as the Crucible. However, no further expeditions to this area have been planned under explicit instruction from Olivia Pierce. Why we must. Rest is important. There's the icon of sin there. Rest is important if you are able to be a productive advocate. However, downtime does not need to be wasted. When not working on the Lazarus project, take some time to think about what comes after we open the gates. Where does this devotion of hard work lead? Why are we doing this? To answer that, you must picture yourself transported to the wide open umbral plains or the steps of a great cathedrals or of Argent Denor, or the glassy shores of the Lake of Fire. Imagine yourself worshipping before the icon of sin. There it is, as a reference here. In all of its splendor, even as it sleeps till the call of the ages comes. Envision chanting the names of dark lords in the correct order, empowering them with your rote learning. Fantasize about how it will feel to send the Karis of the Bukavak, or Bukavak, I don't know what the hell that is, as it rises from the blood pools of Angrax and strangles the life out of you. I'm guessing that's the caress of... I'm guessing that's some type of demon, I don't know what kind. Now you can return to your work advocate. For now, know why we do this. Kill them all, yes. I'm about to kill them all. I'm just doing some exposition here. I'm just going through some of the codices here, right? Because I'm on the last level right now. I just started it. The internal operating temperature of Vega's plasma-based neural net are high, extremely high. Early tests of Vega's protoplasmic circuitry showed temperatures exceeding 1.2 megakelvins, hotter than the surface of the sun. To contain this level of heat, a massive supercooled structure needed to build to house Vega's miles of circuitry and millions of processing centers. The structure was built away from the Argent facility to ensure Vega's secret remains safe from prying eyes. Access to Vega's polar core is strictly controlled. Vega's design is so complex that the study of its inner workings have been given its own field of study, Vega core physics. Artificial intelligence. A note for all advocates regarding Vega: at times you may feel through your every move is being watched, as if there's no privacy, and that even your deepest thoughts are being analyzed and processed by Vega. You are not paranoid. This is indeed happening, but it is nothing to fear. Vega's intelligence is vast and his power immense, but he is not omnipotent. Like all of us, his existence is monodimensional. He needs Argent energy to survive. His circuits and coolant reserves are mechanical and break down. At the end of this age, he will be another trophy for the Dark Masters, destined for display on the Great Step. It is essential that you recognize Vega for what he is, another tool to help open the gates and nothing more. Like us, he can be manipulated and controlled. The vast intellect and understanding of the Titans of Hell far exceed anything Vega is capable of understanding. Ultimately, his intelligence, like ours, is artificial. Vega is powered by a mix of unrefined Argent plasma taken directly from the Argent fracture in the UAC technology. While details regarding the development of Vega are closely guarded secret, it is rumored that Vega's core is powered by a piece of arcane technology found near the Argent fracture. The behavior and calculating power of Vega is unprecedented in the AI theory, and the system is to some extent self-taught. After the initial core software was uploaded, Vega began gathering data from all the UAC subsystems without oversight, and effectively took control of the Mars facility's operations. Vega also proposed a more efficient method of processing Argent plasma and Argent energy, devised better analysis theorems, and even designed a new Argent compression schema, allowing for the development of Argent caches and later the Argent accumulator. I don't think I'm going to bother with the weapon codices necessary. Pinky Demon. Pinkies will charge once their prey is detected using a cortical bone plate that covers their faces as a battering ram. They accelerate quickly but have limited control when charging. Their inability to stop quickly or turn makes them vulnerable to charging over ledges or into hard surfaces, stunning them. At close range, the Pinky has a significant bite it will use to fend off attackers. They have limited visual perception and rely primarily on pheromone detection to locate enemies. The thinner skin on their flanks does not offer as much protection and should be considered a point of weakness. Gnawed carcasses of pinkies have been extracted from portals, suggesting that they are considered a delicacy in hell. Oops. The Revenant, last entry. During initial development of the Revenant program, a curious side effect of the Lazarus wave exposure was discovered. The argent energy held within the plasmatic isotopes of the Lazarus wave mutates oscine proteins, resulting in rapid skeletal growth. The expansion of the bone matter results in avulsion of the skin and connective tissue. The flesh is literally torn from the bones as the skeleton continues to grow. The exposed internal organs begin to decompose after several weeks of intense pain for the patient. The skeletal growth stops, resulting in a 3-meter beast compromised primarily of bone. The height varies depending on patient's original physiology. Despite this bizarre biological structure, the Revenant appears to bear no ill effects. Hell Guards. The borderlands between Titan's Realm and the Great Steppe is home to one of the most ferocious demons yet found. The biomech Hellguard. While there have been no direct human contact with this beast, it was discovered by scout bots during the second Project Lazarus tethering expedition. Confronting this demon signaled the end of the expedition, but scout bots did manage to send data to the relay beacons before they were destroyed. A detailed study of the few video frames that were captured before the equipment was destroyed revealed that the Hellguard is actually a parasite housed within a bone and keratin exoskeleton. The parasite imbued with enormous quantities of hell energy provide power to the Hellguard and control its actions entirely. Before entering the exoskeleton, the Hellguard exoskeleton is a lifeless tusk. Attempts to retrieve the parasite alone have proved fruitless, as the uncoupled demon is too weak to survive passage between dimensions. Once coupled, however, the demon presents a daunting, relentless enemy. Well, I know Olivia had one in her Lazarus lab, so... Oh, I got another codex entry. Oh, the Spectre. Artifacts. Then you got the Slayer's Testament. Okay, I think it's time to move on here. Okay, the killing is about to begin. So, just thought I'd do a little exposition there. Actually, is there anything to... Not much. Guess you got some structures way out there in the distance. There. That's actually kind of cool looking. Anyways. See, that looks pretty much like the face of a cyber demon, but much, much larger than the one that the Doomarine fights in this game. Sneeze there, sorry. Oh, there he is. The Doomarine. There's his mark right there. Kill 2 Barons of Hell one shot. Find all 3 Skull Switch secrets. Kill 25 demons with the BFG. It's actually kind of cool. I think you can see Martian. Yep. Fucker. Who did that? That was a nice meat shot. Ooh. That was it. Trying to remember where the switch is for the dumb thing. The door's right there. There it is. Okay. Damn it, I'm retarded. I got fucked up. Shit. Went down there like a dumbass. shit, I got the wrong weapon. Whatever. I almost forgot about this. There's like a mega health over here. You take this route instead of the obvious one. Yeah, there it is. Ah! There we go. Fucker. I think he's bugged out there. I'm really annoyed when sometimes you try to jump over a pinky demon and it still fucking hits you. Yeah. Dude, these fucking lost souls. I'm gonna start that over. I like how I'm moving forward in the lost souls. They chase you down, they explode, and they're actually pulling me backwards. That was kind of annoying. Whatever. But they move so fast, it's like you can't really escape. So you have to kill them before they touch you. Oh, this shit again. Totally nailed that. Why can't I grab this button? What's going on here? Is that dog poodle icon some kind of secret subliminal message? Some kind? I think it is. Okay, now I have to think, where is the secret room level on the last stage? Okay, that door shut. I think it's after the second big battle, I think. Because you have 3 big fights, and then I think after the second one, that's where you find it. I think. Can't really remember.
Must not
I think it's after this one.
allowed to free them.
Those amps are like fucking snipers, man. They'll hit you so far away. Ugh. What do you get? Fucking pinky bean. Fuck. That was a juicy one right there. Did I get 2 here or not? I gotta just fight one then. That's a little empty. I don't know. See, the one thing I don't get about this level is that they use soundtracks from like previous levels, which I didn't really understand because pretty much every level pretty much has its own unique track. And like this one, they use the Rip and Tear track, but it's like they don't really use it that much, and I kind of wonder why they decided to make that kind of choice. Because like it plays a little bit, but like they'll mix it up with like some of the music from level 6, and I just figured they would just use the Rip and Tear track for the entire level. But that's how it bees, I guess. Well, hey, buddy. What's going on, dude? I'm trying to remember this last skull secret, but whatever. Man, I can't remember where the fucking, where the Doom lever is. Or the lever for the Doom level on this one. I cannot remember at all. Is it? It's gotta be in this last cavern here before I get to the last big battle. Yeah, I'm gonna look around a little bit here. Ah, fuck. Whatever. It probably was in the first tunnel. But I already screwed that up. Too late now. Look at the map here. Oh well. I would backtrack, but can't do that. So. anyway, I'm gonna clear this fucking pinky demon. Damn it. Should we spawn a bunch of implants? Yeah, I was trying to get that last weapon point by killing 2 barons with one shot. And really, the best way to do it is you have to get the quad damage and then use the BFG to essentially kill them both with one shot. So it's really the only gun powerful enough to do that. So. Argent de Nor. While some intelligence have been directly retrieved from Argent de Nor, most of the details we have regarding this location have been extrapolated from the coded tablets and scriptures. Limited data from the remote collection and information decrypted from the Corex tablet suggests that this area is the corrupted ruins of a lost realm, a world that has been entirely conquered and absorbed into Hell's dimension. The battle was fought to claim this area is of great significance, as the spread of Hell's dominions accelerated quickly upon absorption of this region. The Hell energy that emanates from this region passes through a dimensional tear and appears on Mars at the Argent Fracture. From the Corex tablets it reads, quote, "All falls before the command of Hell, for our power is absolute, our march to victory inevitable. Before our armies, even the elemental race of Argent de Nor were subjugated. In that great victory, the Night Sentinels, protectors of the race, were betrayed by one of their own, and the wretches wept as we devoured their world and took the well for our devices. None stands against us, for treachery resides in all things, and we shall set it free." A farewell. Some of you in a previous life may have held childish notions of God and the kingdom of heaven. This ugly representation of a spiritual nirvana was designed to control you, to placate your natural feelings of hate and rage, to subdue your realization of your place in this universe. By embracing science, you took the first steps towards freedom and from these intellectual chains. By dedicating yourself to the development of Argent energy, you submitted your place in the next age. Now let us tell you about the real heaven. The real kingdom of the gods is a place that you will never reach, and you should never wish to. No human will ever visit the sacred ground of Argent de Nor, unless they are made by a god by the Dark Lords. Made a god by the Dark Lords. Humanity's only purpose and reward is to serve the ascension of the Imperatrix and protect the Crucible. You will be destroyed by the demons, while I be made a god. My immortality is assured, while you writhe in perpetual agony at the bottom of the darkest hole in hell. You will be forgotten. Your life, your loved ones, your achievements and failures are nothing. A blank space on the canvas of time. Thank you for your service. Whoops. Thank you for your service. May you rot in hell, Olivia Pierce. What a bitch. Okay, artifacts. The Wraiths. While there have been no confirmed sightings of these creatures, much is known about them, as they are revered by demons and referred multiple times in all explored areas of hell. According to scriptures found in the Kandangir Sanctum, the Wraiths are elemental beings that inhabit the realm of Argent de Nor, a world that was colonized in the first age of ascension. The Wraiths were defied by the people of Argent de Nor and protected by their fiercest warriors, the Night Sentinels. They are believed to have been imbued with a powerful energy. The elemental race, if they still exist in Argent de Nor, have no doubt been corrupted by the power of hell. However, descriptions of the beast suggest that they were terrifying in their own form before any demonization occurred. The protection of these beasts was both a measure to harness the power they generated and also a defense against them, hence the need for a warrior order to serve as protectors rather than a simple priest caste. Several tablets describe the worship of the race as a necessity to avoid their wrath, and the Ungmar Codex specifically states that Wraith Call, the sign of an approaching wraith, caused panic and terror among the people of Argent de Nor. It is also possible that some sacrificial ceremonies were attached to the worship of the wraith. Further reading from the Ungmar Codex, the Night Sentinel stood strong against our legion's conquest of Argent de Nor, empowered by the wraith energy, was foiled at every turn. Yet in our darkest hour came a lowly hell priest, Dag Grav, and in his guidance a weakness and a heathen of the Night Sentinels was found. The bargain was struck thus for the return of the betrayer's only son, lost on the battlefield. Dag Grav must be taken to the source of their power, the elemental race. Led by the wretched betrayer, Dag Grav and his cabal set a curse upon the race as they slept and used their essence for their own devices. For our own devices. With the power of the race, they formed the well, which brings us upon our enemies. Thus the city of Argent and their false gods fell under the unholy might of the Hell Priest. For his payment, the betrayer's son was returned to him in our form, and the icon of sin was brought upon the heathens. His vengeance was swift and merciless, for the wages of treachery are suffering. With the fall of Argenor, neither their realm was taken into ours, their temples and ruins, their carved rock and edifice, all was absorbed into our realm and taken as trophies of our triumph. Yeah, I mean, Doom 3, of course, because I'm about to fight the final boss here, so I'll probably go into it deeper after I beat this Spider Mastermind. But yeah, Doom 3 was essentially, when Doom 3 came out, you know, you had Tom Hall, John Carmack, and John Romero. And then, you know, you had Doom 1 and 2, and then by the time Doom 3 came out, Tom Hall had left and became part of Ion Storm, and then John Romero was either resigned, quit, or John Carmack fired him. And essentially with kind of John Carmack kind of at the lead of Doom 3's direction, it ended up really being kind of a demonstration of how advanced the Intech engine had become at that time. So it was more of like an atmospheric game there to show off the technology at the time, and then it was kind of a Doom game second. I think Doom 3 was actually a good game, but as a Doom game coming from 1 and 2, it was not a good Doom game. But as a game itself, I liked it. I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, I'll get more into that after I beat the boss here. Now, before I start the fight, I will not use this, so let's see here. Intimacy is best. Saving throw. I'm probably going to use vacuum. So if there's any health or ammo that drops, I can pick it up from a distance. Equipment power, in-flight mobility. So, alright. Let's do this.
They promised me so much.
Do I have any BFG ammo nearby? I'm gonna grab that. Weapon. Why did it switch my weapons there? Why does it keep switching my weapons? Son of a bitch. Monster kill.
You've won. It's over. You stopped the invasion and closed the portal. But it's come at a price. Argent, Vega, this entire operation. You see, I've watched you work. Come to understand your motivation. You think the only way is to kill them all, leave nothing behind. And you may be right. But we can't just shut it all down. Without Argent energy, it will be worse. I don't expect you to agree. But with this, we can continue our work. I am not the villain in this story. I do what I do because there is no choice.
Rerouting tether coordinates complete.
Our time is up. I can't kill you, but I won't have you standing in our way. Until we see each other again.
Yeah, the final boss is I mean, the Spider Mastermind kind of has a lot of hit points. It kind of depends. I mean, for this playthrough, I did it on Ultra Nightmare, or Ultra Nightmare. I'm sorry, Ultra Violence. I've beaten the game about 3 times or 4 times on Nightmare. I think 2 of them I streamed. And this one I was just doing for fun, you know, I just felt like going through the game again. Yeah, but really with the bosses, I mean, once you kind of know like their like the attack moves that they have, obviously they won't be as hard. But I would say if you do a playthrough on Nightmare, like the Cyber Demon. Can particularly be very difficult because there's one attack he has where he'll stick his arm weapon thing or whatever, and he'll point it forward or towards you, and it'll kind of charge up. And that one's kind of tricky because if you just kind of bounce around all over the place, it'll end up hitting you. Whereas what you should do is you should wait for it to get charging up, and right before he releases that energy, you kind of sway left or right, and you'll be able to evade that attack. So, but yeah, I agree. I feel like the bosses they weren't bad, but it was like when you look at Doom in its entirety, and like the amount of quality and polish that the game has, I kind of felt like the bosses were not up to that high standard that they really set for the rest of the game. You know, like they were serviceable. They weren't bad, but I felt like they could have been better. But I felt either I guess they felt like since they had the look and the feel, they didn't feel like they needed to do anything else, I suppose. So, whoops, wrong button. Take it easy, dude. See you later. Yeah, but the guy who mentioned Doom 3 earlier, yeah, I like Doom 3. I mean, Doom 3 was obviously more of a kind of more akin to like a horror game. If you ever played like Dead Space, it was kind of a combination of like horror and like an action game. But Doom 3 wasn't really that terrifying. Excuse me. I mean, you had some scary moments, but it wasn't as intense as something like Dead Space. But yeah, I actually like Doom 3. I mean, of course, when it came out, like you have to understand, like when that came out in 2005, I think it was, or late 2004, that game was like a technological marvel. I mean, it was incredible looking. You know, just having the dynamic lighting and those shaders, it was really impressive at the time. So, but yeah, I like Doom 3. I thought Doom 3 was a good game. It wasn't a good Doom game, you know, especially if you grew up with the first two, and you know, because if you look at when Doom 1 and 2 came out, right, and then when Doom 3 came out, it was actually a pretty large window of time. So, you know, you had you know, Wolfenstein and Quake that they put time in before they got back around to Doom 3. So Doom 3 was good. I'll say that the expansions, Resurrection of Evil, and then in the BFG edition you had something called the Lost Missions. Those I felt were pretty weak. So give me 1 second here. I really had a piss because I've been drinking a lot of coffee, but yeah, no, Doom 3 was a good game, but the Resurrection of Evil expansion and the Lost Missions that came with the release of the BFG edition of Doom 3, they were kind of disappointing. I remember watching this guy do a kind of a detailed analysis or retrospect of the Doom 3 game. And I think he goes by, it's like Noah Gervais, or Noah, his YouTube channel is like Noah Cadwell, or Codwell Gervais, or Jarvis, however he says it. But he made some really good points. He talked about how if you know, if you had played those games when around the time they came out, or at least the expansion, it was very clear that id Software was really like looking at what Valve was doing with Half-Life 2, and like they basically had a gun that worked and operated exactly like the gravity gun that was in Half-Life 2. So yeah, Wolfenstein's good, Quake's good, you know. Yeah, to finish my train of thought though, they were really kind of not verbatim, but they were kind of copying somewhat of what Half-Life 2 was doing, what Valve was doing with Half-Life 2 at the time. So yeah, the Resurrection of Evil expansion was kind of underwhelming. But yeah, like Wolfenstein's been really up and down. Quake, with Quake, I think after Quake 3 or Quake Arena, whatever they called it, like when they came out with Quake 4, I can't really remember because I never played it, but basically, like no one really picked up Quake 4, or like the competitive scene there, or just the community as a whole, didn't really seem to attract you to Quake 4. I can't remember why. So really, it was really the only source of Quake that Quake fans had was really 3. But they've came out with Quake Champions, which is kind of like this free to play thing on PC. And then Wolfenstein, since Bethesda Softworks, not the game studio but the publishing side, since they bought id Software, and I think they own the rights to the intellectual property of id Software's engine and pretty much everything else under that umbrella. With Wolfenstein, they've brought back Wolfenstein, and I felt like Wolfenstein: The New Order, it was really good. But if you look back, like there was a Wolfenstein game that they came out in 2009, I think it was. It was okay, but it had so much shit going on, like they were trying to take all these features from so many different first-person shooter games, and it's just really weird. It was in a really weird place. The way it played, all the features you had, it was in a weird place. I remember when I rented it through GameFly and played it on my PS3. I don't know. I kind of had mixed feelings about it. But then, of course, one thing that really screwed up id financially was all the time that they put into Rage. If you remember the game Rage, when that came out, that was in development for like 6 years? Yeah, I mean, no, Half-Life 2 looked good. I mean, Half-Life 2 was a good-looking game. Really, what made Half-Life 2 stand out is the detail that it gave characters and like their animations, particularly in the face and like their expressions and stuff. That was really impressive at the time, because I think Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines used that engine, and with great effect, with the facial expressions and animations and details and texture work. It was really nice. So Doom 3, of course, like characters looked kind of blocky and plasticky, so in that regard it wasn't good, but pretty much technologically everywhere else though, Doom 3 was really impressive. More impressive than Half-Life 2, so in my opinion. But I mean, the Havoc, or the Havoc engine or whatever, I mean, it was a good engine. It obviously wasn't bad. It's just, I think there were some things that the id Tech engine did a little better at the time. But, yeah, but you remember, id, they got stuck working with the Rage game for like 6 years because they were making that game while simultaneously developing their next engine. I think it was id Tech 5 at the time. Or was it 4? I can't remember. But another thing too that John Carmack was tweaking around with was something called mega textures, and I won't go into the whole thing. You really have to look it up yourself, because I can't really recall too much about it. But mega textures, in theory, are really a great tool, because technically it would allow graphic artists and people doing texture work to pretty much have unlimited detail, and instead of having a repeating texture, you would just have one giant texture. Like if you had for example, if you were like in a city area, right, and you were doing concrete textures, you could actually have a unique piece of graffiti on every piece of concrete, like by an overpass or something, instead of having to use like repeating textures and stuff. The negative side though is that mega textures take up a lot of fucking space. Like I think I remember reading somewhere Rage as a game, because of the mega textures would take up so much space. Rage
uncompressed, like without any of the data compressed, I think was almost like a terabyte in size, because the textures just take up so much fucking space because it's so much detail. So, but yeah, with those two things combined, it really caused a lot of problems. And John Carmack, he kind of owned up to it. And he said, this was a mistake, and and he apologized to the fans for it and stuff. So I mean, he was pretty upfront and honest about it. But yeah, id Software was really kind of in a bad spot, for a couple of years there. And fortunately, which not trying to jinx anything, but hopefully Bethesda, the publisher, doesn't fuck shit up and actually allow id to make their games. And then with Wolfenstein, that's being developed by Machine Head Games, I think is the name of the developer. Yeah, no. Half-Life 2 is, I mean, it obviously was a very impressive game at the time. There's really no argument there. The facial animations were really impressive, and it still holds up really well today. Of course, with some games today in the past couple of years, like, things can be really inconsistent, But, yeah, it still holds up really well. It's really impressive for something that came out in, late 2004, early 2005. So, but yeah, with now, I feel like id's on the right track right now. Doom came out, something that everyone was very skeptical about, but ended up doing extremely well and blew a lot of people's minds, fortunately. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a sequel for Doom. Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's a really good game. If you haven't played it, I highly suggest it. It's very refreshing as a shooter. When you look at a lot of what's on the market, just the feeling. And one thing that's really impressive, which you can see it here in Doom as well, is the way that enemies react when it comes to hit detection. And this was one thing that Rage did really well too, is that depending on where you shoot enemies and with what weapons, like, they'll react differently in physics and all that stuff, And that was the one thing that was really impressive with Wolfenstein: The New Order. When you would light someone up with a shotgun or an assault rifle, like, they reacted differently to both of those weapons, and it was very visceral, and it did a great job at really kind of immersing you into that setting. So when you hit someone with a weapon, it had a great sense of impact. And of course now they're working on the new Wolfenstein game. It's called the new Colossus, or the new Colossus. I can't remember, but that looks really good. I mean, if really the New Order was great. They just need to take what was there and then fix what was broken. The stuff that wasn't broken, don't mess with it, and then just add a little more polish and care, and you'll have a great game. So, and I like that they didn't screw around and waste money on some kind of multiplayer thing. I actually liked how they kind of made it this just fully fledged kind of single player experience. That was really refreshing. So, because I'd rather them spend more time on the quality of the single player than mess around with some cheap multiplayer. And especially, like, the problem here with Doom is, while Doom was good and the snap map feature that's in Doom was done by id Software, the multiplayer was outsourced. And while the multiplayer was not bad, I mean, I did play it for about a month. Ultimately, I was kind of not impressed with the multiplayer. Because it was it's a hybridization of, like, old school mechanics from, like, Unreal and Quake with, like, some of this modern stuff. And it just, to me, it didn't really gel too well. But yeah, the multiplayer was outsourced. So, but honestly, I would be perfectly fine if when they come out with the next Doom title, if they just didn't bother with a multiplayer, and just focused on the snap map feature, which the snap map feature in itself is a multiplayer feature. So I really didn't see the necessity of having snap map and multiplayer. When in the snap map feature, you can design a single player mission, you can design a co-op mission, you can design deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag. So I mean, multiplayer and co-op exists in the snap map feature. So I don't see why they bothered introducing a multiplayer feature that they ended up outsourcing. That really wasn't all that impressive. In addition to Matt, so we've not heard anything. Yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully the next Doom, instead of bothering trying to outsource a multiplayer feature, they should just focus on the single player, make that great, and then because the snap map feature is really good, I just feel like you kind of divided the community, the online community, because most people just want to jump in and play the multiplayer thing and probably won't even pay attention to the snap map. So, and it's like, who wants to bother with like a death match on the snap map feature when you can just jump into the multiplayer thing? So I kind of feel like if they work on that a little more and make that stuff a bit more, I don't want to say accessible, but streamlined with the snap map feature, I think that'd be a smarter decision instead of trying to outsource a multiplayer feature. So yeah, but id's in a pretty good spot. Like I said, Wolfenstein is being done by Machine Games. Technically, it's a different developer that's doing it. So, but overall, I mean, Doom was really impressive. It really was a return to form. So, and I imagine Doom 2, when that comes out, they may just call it Doom Hell on Earth, because I'm assuming, since you went to Mars, I'm assuming in the sequel with Samuel Hayden acquiring the Crucible, I imagine you'll probably be returning to Earth. So, and it'll basically be a reboot of the second one, right? Doom Hell on Earth. So, but anyways, that kind of wraps up the stream. Those of you who are watching, hopefully it was somewhat entertaining to you. Obviously, I enjoyed playing this game, so that's why I played through it again. But hopefully it's maybe inspired you to give Doom another playthrough. One thing I will say, though, before I close down this stream, with the multiplayer, they've actually made all the DLC free, and they've changed the progression system of the multiplayer. So that may be worth investigating. I haven't really messed with it yet, but I plan on checking it out at one point. So, but anyways, thanks to those of you who are watching. I hope it was worthwhile and entertaining. So, I will see you guys next time in the sequel, hopefully, which will be Doom Hell on Earth. Keep it metal, everyone. Keep it metal.